The Toronto Raptors absolutely get embarrassed by the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn, 96-81. There's a lot of things that we have to discuss here because the numbers are alarming here, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers are alarming. And because of that, there are some things that I must play for you first before I discuss.
It's happening over here during whole season. I've been calling it back. It's a complete crap. How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on? This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Is that it? Is that it? Do I have to continue here? Do I have to continue with these damn sound effects? First of all, let's start here. This is probably one of the worst losses that we've had on the season thus far. Not only do you lose, you get your ass kicked. Obviously, no Barrett in this game. We know that. Pirtle was back in the lineup. But I'm going to come back to Pirtle in just a second. Stay tuned. Agbaji gets the line and the start once again for RJ Barrett. Okay, so first of all, this game was like even Steven when it started. All the numbers across the board were pretty much the same after 5 minutes. It was 11-11 with just under 7 minutes remaining in that first quarter. And I thought Immanuel Quickley had a pretty decent job at that point. He had 4 assists on 4 made field goals for the Raptors, and everything was just looking half decent at that point. Second game of a back-to-back on the road. And I'm not sure if you guys heard this at the beginning of the game, but there was mechanical issues with the plane for the Raptors. They didn't get into their hotel room until approximately 5 to 5:30 a.m. So they were way behind schedule, probably missed a little bit of sleep there. And it definitely looked like it. It looked like it because they were sluggish out there, really sluggish. And unfortunately, with Brandon Ingram, with 6 minutes remaining, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, Brandon Ingram rolled his ankle. And so he went with Alex McKechnie back to the change room. But luckily, he did return to the game a little bit later on, thank God. And Michael Porter Jr. also picked up his second foul early in the first quarter. 3:40 remaining, picks up his second foul. I'm thinking, all right, this is going to be a good thing because Michael Porter Jr. is one of 5 players in the NBA that's averaging 25 points and 7 rebounds. So if you can eliminate him early to the bench, get him in some foul trouble, that could give the Raptors an advantage. And overall in this game, it just didn't work out too well in that case because Porter Jr. ended up carving you up down the line in this game. 36 minutes, 24 points in the game, 9 of 18 from the field, 4 of 8 from three-point range, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. He played a pretty damn good game. He's a nice player, man. Michael Porter Jr. can play. He did well in this one, I'll tell you that much. Raptors, only 18 points in that first quarter. They were down 24-18. And at that point, the Raptors already had 7 turnovers in this game. 7 turnovers. That's been a big talking point with me on this podcast in regards to the Raptors. They turn over the ball a lot. And there were some horrible turnovers as well. It's just their passing is like all out of whack at this point. And so the Raptors go down 6 points to enter that second quarter. Now, one of the guys who did well, especially towards the end of the first quarter, going into that second quarter, was Jacoby Walter off the bench. And he had a decent game in this one, I guess. 23 minutes, 9 points in this game, 4 or 5 from the field, 1 or 1 from 3-point range. And with 10 minutes remaining in that second quarter, he was 3 of 3 from the field with 7 points, 1 of 1 from 3-point range. And remember, I talked to you about Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl ends up leaving the game with back tightness with 8 minutes remaining in that second quarter. 8 minutes remaining in that second quarter. Jakob Poeltl is having some serious issues here with his back. And I hope he gets better really soon. But for all the Raptors fans out here, be prepared for life without Jakob Poeltl. Because when you have a serious back injury, he's going to need rest. And you're not going to be able to speed it up. You're not going to be able to really rush him back into these games. I don't know the severity of the back tightness currently, but it looks to me like Jakob Poeltl is going to need rest, and they're going to have to keep him out for a little bit. The Raptors, I mean, I don't know. They're going to have to. How many times have we talked about this? The numbers are glaring, especially when he is not in the lineup, especially for Immanuel Quickley. I'm talking about Jakob Poeltl. Who is going to do the job of guarding opposing bigs, banging with them when he is not in the lineup? Mamu, sure, okay, he's a part of it. But the other guy you're going to be looking at to do that is going to be one Scottie Barnes. And that is going to take away from him offensively because it's going to tire him out. And I'll get back to Scottie Barnes in just a second. Raptors now with 4:15 remaining in that second quarter have 11 turnovers. 13-3 run for Brooklyn to close the quarter. And now the Raptors are down double digits, 49-39, going into the half. And the 39 points that the Raptors had going into the half was the lowest scoring half that they've had this season in any half. First half or second half. Lowest amount of points this season in a half. 12 turnovers now. Going into the half, only 3 fast break points. Michael Porter Jr. at this point with 17 points at the half. And I mean, as soon as the game comes back and resumes in the third quarter, Michael Porter picks up exactly where he left off, drills another 3. He now has 22 points with 9:40 remaining in that third quarter. And the Raptors are down 10 still, 60-50 with 5:20 remaining in that third quarter. Now, they looked gassed, ladies and gentlemen, lacking energy. It did not look good. And I'm going to get to some of these team stats along with some of the numbers in the box score because there are some things that I see here that are absolutely alarming. If I go over to the team stats here right now, I want you to tell me something here. And listen to this. The Raptors get beat up by 15 in this game, right? They had 11 more field goal attempts than Brooklyn in this game.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
You heard me correctly. They finished the game with 81 points total, like we're in 1994. They finished the game with 81. And you had 11 more shot attempts than the Brooklyn Nets. 10 of 36 from three-point range. You shot 28%. They shot 8 free throws in this game. You heard me correctly. You heard me correctly. They shot 8 free throws in this game. 8. 8 free throws. And once again, scoring droughts. Big time scoring droughts in these games again. So at one point, there was another instance where the Raptors go on a scoring drought, and I'm looking for it in my notes. Here it is. It was actually in the first quarter. Let me go back there for a second. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Raptors scoring drought at the end of that first quarter. And another scoring drought that they had, I have it in here somewhere for you. Actually, I'll get to it in a second, but let me continue here being in that third quarter before I get to that other scoring drought, because it actually came in the fourth quarter. Scottie Barnes, with 4 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in that third quarter, had 4 points and 4 rebounds. We're going to need more than that from Scottie Barnes. And Darko is going to have to put him in better situations to score the basketball. They're going to have to call his number. They're going to have to run plays for him. He's not Brandon Ingram. He doesn't shoot the ball the same way as Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram can kind of get that ball and create for himself, and Scottie Barnes can do it as well. But Scottie also in this game was missing shots close to the rim, mid-range shots that he typically makes. But overall, 6 points in this game in 34 minutes, 3 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point range. He gave you 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Just not a good game overall from Scottie Barnes. And you need to see more than this. I don't listen, I'm not even using Darko as the scapegoat for Scottie Barnes scoring 6 points. You need more than that. You need more than that. Brandon Ingram in 33 minutes gave you 19, 7 of 18 from the field, 3 of 8 from three-point range, gave you 5 rebounds, 3 assists in this game as well, along with 2 blocks. Scottie Barnes also gave you 2 blocks in this game. And I mean, my goodness, you are going to need more from the bench as well. You're going to need more from the bench as well. 3 points for Grady Dick. Jacoby Walter had a decent night, like I mentioned. 4 or 5 from the field, 9 points. Jamal Shed gave you 2 points, 1 of 7 from the field. 8 points from Colin Murray-Boyles, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in this game. 4 points from Jamison Battle, 4 points from Sandro Mamu after he gave you a big night against the Boston Celtics. But overall, I mean, this is just nasty work from the Raptors tonight.
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you that.
So listen, in the third quarter, after all of those things that I mentioned, the Raptors did put together a run towards the end of the third quarter. And a big part of that was because of one, Immanuel Quickley. Immanuel Quickley definitely looked better against Brooklyn than he looked against the Boston Celtics. He had 32 minutes, 17 points, 5 of 16 from the field, 3 of 10 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, 10 assists. So not a stellar game by any means, but he definitely looked better than what we saw against the Boston Celtics. And he put together a nice third quarter at the end of the third quarter going into that fourth quarter. So at the end of that third Q, Immanuel Quickley did a good job creating for the rest of his teammates. You know, he had 13 points, he had 5 rebounds and 7 assists at the end of that third quarter. And he was dropping dimes for his guys. It was a beautiful thing to see. He also had 8 points alone in that fourth quarter. It was a 67-65 lead for Brooklyn. And IQ at one point kind of like took over the game for a good 3 or 4 minutes. And the Raptors went on a 15-0 run. 15-0 run in a span of less than 3 minutes entering that fourth quarter, but going back to the third. And then after that, everything just fell apart. Everything just fell apart. Perimeter defense, not good enough. Not doing a good enough job guarding on the interior. I mean, when it comes to rebounds, out-rebounded again, 39-48. Turnovers. We discussed. And the Raptors had 15 turnovers in this game. Brooklyn had 21. They had 6 more turnovers than the Raptors and 11 less field goal attempts. Fast break points, Raptors had 12. Brooklyn had 15. Like I mentioned to you before, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. 8 free throws in the game. This is not good. This is not good. They're going to have to get back to the drawing board here. And they were getting completely outplayed towards the end of this game. Defensively, energy wasn't there. Guys look extremely confused on the offensive end. They're going to have to figure that out. And the Brooklyn Nets end up going on a 16-2 run. A 16-2 run. I remember when I was talking to you about the droughts, I mentioned that drought to you in that first quarter. The Raptors, with 3:03 remaining in this game, went on a drought and I'm talking about field goals. They had 0 field goals in over 6 minutes and 30 seconds with just over 3 minutes remaining in this game. Guys, I'm going back to the sound effects.
What's happening over here during whole season, I've been calling it back. It's a complete crap. How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on? This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Back to the drawing board, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the drawing board. 96-81. The Raptors absolutely get manhandled by the Brooklyn Nets. But you know what? I am going to be what do I put this? I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. So, I'm still going to give the Raptors some love. I mean, 17-13 on the season. They're going to be jumbled up in the middle of the East now. But they clearly have work to do. They clearly have work to do. That's the best way to put it. They're going to have to figure some things out and figure it out fast. I don't know what Bobby Webster is going to do. I don't want to panic. You're still 4 games over 500. So I'm not going to go crazy. Not looking good, but things, I don't know. We're just going to have to see what happens here, folks. We're going to have to see what happens. At Mike Roach 7 on IG, at Mike Roach 23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the podcast button. Hit that hype button just above the comments. Thank you all for the support once again. A lot of big shows will be coming up in the new year. Not sure how many more guests I'm going to have on until the new year, just because around the Christmas season, everybody is super busy. But I will still be here until the next time. This is the Mike Roach Podcast. And pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, to some of the guys that you're seeing with the Raptors 905. They will be at the G League Showcase final, I believe, on Monday night. It was a hell of a game today in the semifinal. Fantastic. Catch the Raptors 905 in the finals if you get the chance. It was a solid game today, and I'm hoping they win the whole thing. But until the next episode, this is the Mike Roach Podcast. Peace. I'm out.